everybody, this is Randy with Carchaeology. In today's video, I'm going to do a bit of a flashback to another amazing Imperial like Rose here that I pulled out of a California estate. Now, it wasn't exactly the same as this, but the similarities are fantastic. And certainly, this car that I pulled out of a garage in 2012 started my love affair with the forward look Chrysler products. Really amazing stuff, and I think you're going to dig this particular dig. I received a phone call one day from a lady whose father had passed away, and he had a collection of cars and parts. And of course, I was interested, and what I saw when I arrived at the house was pretty amazing. Stuffed in the garage of this suburban home was this 1957 Imperial Southampton four-door hardtop that had been parked in the garage in 1971 and then piled up with stuff. Not only did he park it there, he nailed the garage door shut, and it took some effort to get the thing out of there. When we finally lifted up the garage door, the springs were broken on the door, by the way. It took three of us to get it up. The sun finally hit the flanks of this amazing machine, and it was packed in there tight. The family had already pulled all the junk off the top of the car, and then once we got there, we had to pull the stuff out from around it and roll it out into the street. And once it was out there, I absolutely couldn't help myself. I had to give it a quick bath with the garden hose, wiped it all down, waited for the tow truck driver to come, scoop it up, and then bring it back to the lab. And it had arrived here late at night, full moon in the background, and it being such a huge car, it could only be dropped sort of sideways in the garage. And the next morning I went out and started the cleanup process. Amazing level of preservation on this car. While the chrome was a little crusty and things were a little dirty, every time I touched this car, it just started to shine like new. And it's a huge car. It took a lot of effort of doing the cleanup, and I wanted to be very careful to preserve all the originality as much as possible. The car had been sitting since 1971, so we had to go through all the mechanical parts of it, new tires, new everything, and then get the car running. The trunk obviously was full of stuff. We found all sorts of interesting treasures in the car. There's a spotlight. The glove box was full of really cool stuff, local maps, St. Christopher badge. Everywhere I turned, there was something really cool with this car, and I tried to keep all of the things that I thought were the coolest with it so that they could go on to its new owner whenever I was done with it. The bottle of No-Dos, the chewing gum, all of that stuff was kind of fun. So we continued the cleanup and preservation of this all-original car, and again, the more I touched it, the better it started to look. Mechanically, it took a lot of effort to get that Hemi fired up, but thanks to my buddy Chris, who came out and laid in unorthodox positions, we got the thing running and out on the road. And driving a car like this is really a spectacular thing. That big windshield, the way the suspension floats, it's really just an incredible experience. If you haven't had a chance to drive a 50s era luxury car like this, you really need to give it a shot. So after its preservation and revitalization, I got the car to the point where I thought it was the best it could be, and then posted it for sale on eBay. And when the bidding ended, it sold to a gentleman in Saudi Arabia. And at first, that put me off a bit until I heard the story. These are photos of the buyer's father with almost an identical car. And when it arrived in Saudi Arabia, the new owner sent me photos. He posed with his family with it. He's taken it to car shows, and he loves this car like a member of his family. And throughout the years, I've kept in touch with him. I continue to get photos of him with the family, pictures of the car out at car events, and things like that. I really feel like this car could not have found a better home than it did with its new owner. Great story from start to finish, the Imperial. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.